Let me jump out then. Hang on.
Right, let's carry on.
What's up, people? Welcome to the GSC Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Louchy, joined this week by Johnny.
Hello.
Jamie C.
I'm not. Yes, hello. Co-host thing again.
And,
Fuck off.
and Danny Spagnoli.
Yes, hello.
Hello, Jenny.
Hello.
How are you guys this week?
Good.
Bloody lovely.
Yeah. I'm all refreshed. Had
Fucking-
some time off.
Absolutely knackered, man.
No, we don't care.
I know you don't.
Yeah, no.
So let's start with what we've been playing
Come on,
slash doing.
Tell us, Ben.
Johnny, what have you been up to this week, man?
I saw that F1 movie called Rush. That's pretty good. Actually, no, that's like I loved it. So I don't know if you guys know about the James Hunt and Niki Lauda F1 rivalry, friendship, fiasco.
It's
When was this, Johnny? You're F1 guy. This is
based on
like
the effects of Senna, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. It's the 70s?
yeah, something like that.
Late 60s, early 70s?
It happened some years ago. It's the official
Yeah.
timeline,
I should know.
and they made a movie out of it with Thor as James Hunt and some other guy as Luda. I don't know. I don't know. They did a good job of it though. He looked exactly like him.
Ron Howard made, didn't he? Ron Howard.
Yeah.
So who's he?
It's
The
Happy
ginger
Days.
guy.
Happy days.
Yeah. He made
Anyway,
like.
the film was.
It's Ron
What?
Howard, Johnny. How can you not know Ron Howard?
I'm
Ron
sure I
Howard.
know.
Oh my god.
Didn't he do like
Yeah.
Apollo 13 and stuff and
Oh, of course, yeah,
never
yeah,
mind. Anyway, never mind.
Anyway, the movie
Yeah.
was awesome. No, yeah, guys, you should definitely go see it. I have zero interest in F1, but this film makes you sort of appreciate F1 and what they do and how dangerous it. Well, less so now. There's more regulations, but no, it was a very exciting film, very thrilling. I can't believe that story's real. Obviously it's based on real events. They have jazzed up a little bit to make it more sort of film worthy, but it does follow. It is quite true to life and what happened.
All I know
Yeah.
of that film is a review that I heard by the dude from Bleeding Cool, the website, on Jack FM, and he
Yeah.
pretty much echoed the exact same thing you just said, that like he's not really interested in F1, but the film was so good that like that didn't affect his enjoyment at all. So
Yeah, exactly. So even if you have no interest in F1, it doesn't matter. Go see the film. It's really good.
Well, isn't it because the cars sort of take almost a back step? It's more of their fractious relationship and how, it's not so much of the races themselves.
yeah. Because
but
I
it's- yeah.
basically viewed it as them playing Mario Kart, and they're tied for first place. Because
Can I just
this
say-
has happened? Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been playing Mario Kart and someone's been horrendously disfigured and their car has just
No,
exploded.
but I once put my things on the microwave because I was trying to cook some things in the microwave. It's a very similar thing. But yeah, one guy,
True story, bro.
very
One-
similar situation.
one guy gets slightly disadvantaged and can't carry on.
Disfigured, you mean?
Yeah, well, it's just a bit of a burn mark. It's all right.
Bit.
Cool,
Okay.
man.
But yeah, no, fantastic. Please go watch it. Are you guys, any of you, thinking about going to watch it? Or
Yes.
yeah, obviously Janny, he's the F1 guy. How about you, Jamie?
No.
Ah,
No. I like Hemsworth. He's a good actor,
he's
but
lovely.
I don't think I'd be able to see past the whole Formula One thing, which
It really
is funny because it's a Formula One film. But I couldn't.
It really, it doesn't affect it at all. Even if you couldn't give poops about F1, it's like Janny said, it's not the forefront. It's takes much of a backseat.
I guess it's like NASCAR and Talladega Nights, though, isn't it? Like I hate NASCAR, but you can see past it for Talladega Nights.
Yeah, so there we go. Go watch it. Cool.
Awesome sauce. Did you get up to anything else this week?
Just play some video games.
What video games were you playing, man?
A little bit more GTA.
A little bit more.
Wicked.
Wicked. Yeah, no.
What percentage are you at now?
Probably like 30.
No,
35?
50?
Not. You know what happens a lot? I just go on killing sprees.
Oh,
I like
Johnny.
I do the missions and then just get carried away and just start killing cops and running away on foot.
So
Yeah.
You
I
said gangster.
didn't know anything about GTA last week. You probably noticed.
Yeah.
I've been reading up
Really?
and like checking stuff out though. There's no army in that game. The 5-star response isn't the army this time, even though there's an army base in the game.
Speaking of which, I have to jump in here. Scott literally just flew over it at the army base. Goes, I didn't know there's an airport here, and they just shot him down.
Yeah, with
It was pretty
missiles.
funny.
Oh, the army's not in it. That's interesting.
Yeah,
That's,
apparently
well,
that's not the 5-star wanted thing anymore.
Oh, hang on, yeah.
There
'cause
are
James
missions involving them.
Okay,
There you go. I'm
Jamie
not going to
has-
spoil too much, but there are some heist getaways where you're up against the army as well. So
I see. Because I know that there are army vehicles. There's definitely tanks I've seen.
yeah,
Like, well, not yeah, I've seen them. Seen them then.
It's not GTA without a tank.
Exactly.
Are there still rampage missions because they were the best?
Yeah, Trevor
Trevor.
has the rampage.
Frenzy.
They're tied with him because he hates hillbillies. So he just kills hillbillies.
He proper looks like a hillbilly though.
Yeah, I'm right in that saying that, right, Jay? He hates hillbillies. He's like, it's
He's-
almost like kill the hillbillies.
well he's
Because he's
Canadian.
Canadian. Yeah, and he tries to hide it. I think he's because yeah.
Just
Amazing,
Jokes.
man.
Other than that, I played a little bit of Persona 4 on the Vita, getting back into that because I never actually. I know you guys absolutely loved it, right? You guys played through it and completed it.
Still haven't finished it. I'm in the final dungeon.
You suck.
Yeah,
Oh my
I got really far through the final dungeon, and then like there was a bit where like I couldn't touch an enemy, otherwise I get booted out. And I touched an enemy and got booted out, and I was like, right, well fuck you then, and just put it down. I haven't played it since, man.
Okay. Yeah, I've been playing it. Been loving it. Yeah.
So
That's
good.
yeah. The game is amazing. Every Vita owner should have it. But yeah, no, that's pretty much what I've been doing. Very
Awesome,
boring.
cool, man. Jamie, what have you been up to this week, bro?
I too have been to the cinema this week. Not for Rush though, not for Rush. Probably for a film that you guys have never heard of, and you'll probably never see. But I went to
Fucking
see.
hipster.
I know, right? It's so cool right now. Watching all these movies like this. So Girl Most Likely is the new Kristen Wiig film. Do you guys know it?
I don't. But
Oh,
I'm
yeah, I've
interested
got-
in
yeah.
everything you say. So go for
There
it.
we go. So this film premiered at last year's Toronto International Film Festival. That's like a year ago now. It got a limited run in America, and now it's even smaller over here, obviously. But it's a shame. It was a fun film. I can see where the draws would have been for a lot of the audience. It's got some guy from Glee in there.
Which one?
The dead one.
Don't know his name in the show, but it's the actor is Darren Criss.
Okay.
So if you watch Glee, go have a look then, Ben, next time you're masturbating over that show. I know how wheelchairs do it for you, but there are other means to get to that. So yeah, Kristen Wiig is a good actress. She's a funny woman. But when we came out of the cinema, my wife said something, and it's quite true, that she just said she just couldn't get Lola Bunny out of her head because she voices Lola Bunny in the new Looney Tunes cartoon. And it's right, you know, she plays that character really well as well. But no, obviously we went in there for her. I've come away seeing this movie that was written by one person, and then it feels like it's just been ripped out from underneath them halfway through and completely dressed in a new direction, and it just made it fall through. It's a massive shame. It could have been a lot more fun. It could have been funny. There are moments where I'm seeing jokes completely missed and thinking you've just lost the opportunity to even call yourself a comedy. You know, there's no true direction. Like I said, it's lost halfway through where somebody's just ripped it out. Wants to be a rom-com. It can't do any of this thing. It can't find any romance. It can't find any comedy. It can't find any drama. There's nothing like that's there with a pin on it. You know, everything is just in spurts.
And was that a studio thing then? Was it literally intervention from the studio that caused it to take that direction?
I haven't looked into it, but I would imagine, like I said, somebody's just come in and rewritten parts, or they fell out with somebody who was writing it originally or something. I don't know. It feels unfinished, and it's such a shame because it could have been a good film.
I hate it when that happens, man.
Yeah, that lost opportunity, right? Especially for somebody, like I say, Kristen Wiig is a good actress, and it's a shame to see her projects fall on their face because she's trying to come away and do stuff on her own now, because everything you think of her in is tied to another actor or another director, and it makes her stand out a bit more.
Yeah.
This would have been her on her own. You know, the last thing I would have seen her in was Despicable Me 2, and I thought again she did a great job there. But yeah, so I saw that. It's a shame.
That's lovely. That's good.
Yeah. So you guys, like I said, you guys will never see it. You'll never hear of it again.
It depends, man.
That's
If it pops on Netflix, maybe. I
Maybe.
probably
That's
wouldn't
out of
hunt
my
it down though.
No.
That's out of my life. What else you do?
12 months from now, when you're reminiscing and reliving our previous life with these podcasts, and you'll remember this film, and you'll go back and you'll try and find it. But no, okay, right, down to business then. Obviously, I've been playing Grand Theft Auto 5. I would say I'm probably near completion now, not having rushed through it, just enjoying a bit of time with that one. More and more is coming out of this game, and it's making me just go, fuck me, that's amazing again.
Yeah.
I'm still, as with every Grand Theft Auto game, chucking my controller at the wall every time he controls like a fucking tank. But that is just something they're never going to fix with that game.
Yeah,
I'm
can I
sorry.
speak touch on that? Like what's the shooting mechanics as well? They're still not right, are they? I still find the shooting really clunky.
I'm okay with the traditional one where you just lock on, quickly pop the right stick up slightly and get the headshot. If you're really quick with it, you get a nice little headshot. But I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't find the enemy. They'll be on your map in the corner. You know the general direction. You try to aim, and it just completely bores us up. But
I just find it way too aggressive. The snap on, like.
There are 3 different lock-on options, aren't there?
Yeah, but if you just take it all off completely, you just die extremely quickly in the single player because they just throw tons and tons of guys at you and expect you to sort of deal with them extremely quickly. But it's not, precise enough to. I don't know.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah, because I would have thought they would have stuck with the Max Payne 3 system because that worked pretty well. But I just didn't. Anyway, but apart from the shooting, I absolutely love the game, and even the shooting
With Max Payne. Max Payne is a corridor game with no driving, isn't it? That's the problem. A lot more focus could be put on the shooting mechanic. A game called Grand Theft Auto would be a bit crap if you couldn't drive properly.
This is true.
Yeah, definitely.
It had to be
How
one
did you
or the other.
find Sleeping Dogs shooting though? Because I thought that was really well done. That's my favourite actually so far. Sleeping Dogs.
That was
Like, the way
alright.
they-
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
I think on
worked.
PC, maybe GTA 5 on PC would work better. Anyway, sorry, Jamie, you carry on with your little bit.
Well, my little bit, but no, that's it for Grand Theft Auto from me. There was another game I have been playing, but I'm going to keep it very secret from you guys until I finish it. Probably I think it says about 70% on my save file, so I'm going to tell you guys about that one next week.
Ooh,
Otherwise, a little bit of Rayman Legends on the Wii U.
Oh,
you liking
cool.
it?
I'm loving it. Have you all played Rayman Origins now?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, because it would have been on the PlayStation Plus as well, wouldn't it, for both formats by now? That was fantastic. That came out of nowhere, and it just reinvigorated Rayman. But they're saying the Rayman Legends, the Wii U version, is the definitive version. So if you were going to play it and you had the option, then it would be the Wii U version you go for. What I can see different in this one from the other one, obviously you've got your musical levels, and they're quite fun. But other than that, they probably had a few complaints from people because there were no female playable characters as such straight off the bat, or you couldn't get any unlockable ones there. So there's a load this time. So there's all these little like Viking princess type characters.
Oh, okay, cool.
With swords and maces and.
I was about to go off on a little bit of a rant there, when like people are bitching about this again, but if it looks like they've addressed it, then fair enough.
Well, I did hear they are still bitching because apparently when that character dies, you get a pants shot or something. Is that right, Jamie?
Of course they're bitching about that.
I haven't noticed, to be honest. Is that probably when they're floating around in that bubble, it like shows up their skirt or something?
Yeah, I think something like that, or when she gets hit or something. I'm pretty sure I heard that there's like a pantsuit shot.
We love to complain, don't we?
Yeah. Oh, fucking yes. Yeah.
I may be wrong, it's over the other side of the room, but it's a Peggy 12 anyway, so they can shut the fuck up.
I wish people would get over that already. Like, there's so much moaning at the moment. Oh, well, of course you're right. Why does the main character have to be male? Why can't you put in a female? I'm not being funny. Like, I'm a man. Like, I know how men think. Therefore, when I create things, I usually create a male protagonist because I have a better understanding of how a male protagonist would react in any given situation. And the truth of the matter is, in the games industry at the moment, it is predominantly men in the like positions. Fuck, I don't know where I'm going with this.
You be careful.
It's predominantly men who work in the games industry. Like, the percentage of women is much lower, and it's getting better. And going forward, you'll see a lot of women in lead writer positions and stuff, and see a lot more really strong female leads coming out of that. But as it stands right now, like, it would just suck if men were trying to write women, you know? It would just be men's idea of women, which in the past has gone down worse than not having female characters at all.
It's
That would
like
just be Jessica Rabbit, won't it?
Yeah,
it's
precisely.
like when EA did the Star Wars and the Gay Planet. This completely mess it up. And...
It's funny you should mention about this because there was a story with
I forgot that existed.
the Gay Planet in Star Wars online.
We're trying to be inclusive, so there's just a planet where we stick the gays.
Just stick them on the edge of the quadrant. Just get them out of the way.
segregation.
It's nice to try, but
Their heart was in the right place. It was just a fucking
Kind of.
terrible idea. Oh my god.
Did you guys see what happened with Metal Gear Solid 5?
I was
Like,
quiet.
yeah. Is that girl who's got like literally nothing on?
She's my screensaver on my phone, just saying.
Oh, jeebus. She is like about 15, isn't she, as well?
Not with those.
Oh god.
Oh,
Could you,
fucking
the
hell,
fair
you
play to
choking on
Kojima-
those Haribo now, Gianni?
Come again?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
No, my pizza came.
Well,
Oh,
but fair play
fucking hell.
to Kojima, like he was like, yeah, I just want it to be more sexy.
Exactly.
But erotic. It was actually erotic, and then he tried backtracking.
Yeah,
and
that
said
was his
sexy.
broken English way of saying sexy.
Yeah.
No, he tried because that's what was said originally, and then he said that it was sexy was what they were given, and they came up with that. But they wanted it. They wanted it more for cosplay or something, which was a bit weird.
Yeah, I do follow Kojima on Twitter, and he does retweet a lot of people who have cosplayed as quiet. So that's pretty funny.
We've completely gone off on a tangent. Jamie was in the middle of saying what he was up to, and then we've gone off on this.
Yeah.
Was I?
Sorry, Jay.
How did we get there?
Fuck knows.
can't-
This is
Em-
just...
Okay, I'll tell you what
How it
then.
goes.
Don't cut any of this. We're good. We're fine. I'm done though. I finished my bit.
That's great.
Also,
We've over
Gianni.
speak
What?
do, you,
You thought last week was shit.
do you even know what's going on, Jamie?
Gianni, it's your turn.
Who are you
to
people?
talk.
You're not my family. And cool.
Danny, what
Okay,
are you
right.
up to this week, man?
Right. Actually, I just realised I've not actually played a lot of games. I got a bit excited for Far Cry 3 as it came out on PlayStation Plus, so I was trying to get through Max Payne. Oh no, that's it. Yeah, I've been playing Max Payne.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
Yeah, I
fucking
remember
love it.
now. Fucking hell, that game is hard. Oh my god. Oh, I just suck. I think it might be a bit of column A and column B. But
No.
yeah, how good is that game?
There was a lot of complaints about Max Payne, right? That they still
Was it?
gave you all of the slow-mo jumping and cool shit, but they also gave it cover-based shooting mechanics. So you die in not many shots, so there's not really a lot of point in doing the slow-mo dives. It's better to just get in cover.
Yeah.
No, that's rubbish. That is rubbish. I've cleared out a whole room doing a slow motion dive.
Yeah, you have
'Cause
to pick and choose
you just
when.
headshot them. Yeah. I mean, I
I
did
just
do a
like-
slow
I'll
motion
stick
dive
to the-
downstairs in the stadium. That was
The
fun.
whole like the drinks trolley in Stranglehold, where you just slide across that side base. I'll stick to that.
Stranglehold was a great game.
I got
Okay.
stuck in a
Yeah.
glitch on Stranglehold, just saying, before anyone's
I
like, yeah, it was amazing. Like, it made me quit. I was stuck
Right.
there. There was a guy on a plank above me just shooting me, and I was just stuck in this scaffolding, and I couldn't move. And I was just like, no, fuck you, I'm quitting. Like, that was me done.
And,
Wow.
anyway.
Yeah.
But as I also mentioned during the week, I didn't actually realise how much a bald Max Payne looks like Walter from Breaking Bad. Is that his name, Walter? Yeah, I need to watch that.
Mm.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. So, but no, I'm really enjoying it, and I think I'm coming to the end now. Anyway, so yeah, I was going to finish that to play Far Cry as it's now out, but I went on a bit of a spending spree this weekend.
Nice
Ooh.
details.
Yeah, well, you know how I've been trying to pick up Heavy Rain for quite cheap. I bit the bullet anyway and got it for a tenner. But picked up Driver San Francisco and Singularity as well because they were all in some sort of deal.
Nice.
But then I popped down and went to buy GTA 5. So I can actually contribute next week when we stop talking about it.
Hey,
Nice.
funny.
Well, you say that
Nice.
because the online comes out midweek this week, so by next weekend you'll have the online to talk about.
Yay, and
Perfect.
we can play together. And Ben, oh wait, never mind.
Good set of crew.
If online comes
Yeah.
out midway through this week, that's when I'll be buying the game. So
I can score
good.
one for the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then we can all talk about the same game for once in this podcast life. I don't
Yeah.
think we ever have.
No.
Especially a new release. It'd be a GSC first.
Wow.
So what else about? Oh yeah, and I wasn't going to buy FIFA, but then I caved. So I've got FIFA 14 as well. Yeah, I know. I
Are
feel
you
like
gonna?
such a...
Did you? I was gonna say, did you pick it up at that purple retailer so that you can trade it back in for 40 quid when the new console comes out?
Shit! I didn't even think about that.
you idiot.
No, that was it. They didn't have it. They didn't even tell me. This is how bad they are run. When I went in there, I asked them about GTA and FIFA, and they said, we don't have any GTA left. All we got is the limited edition ones, which is 60 quid. And I was like, fuck off, I'm not doing that for DLC. Right? You can go do one.
Mhm.
And then I asked about FIFA, and they went, all we've got is the one with the bonus content, and it costs like a 10 or more, whatever it was. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not buying it.
Isn't
either
that
of them.
only the Xbox 360 version?
I don't know. I really don't know.
I thought I was under
there was-
the impression the Ultimate Edition was Xbox 360 exclusive, where Ultimate Team is only available on Xbox now.
Well, to be honest, they had a shelf full of the Xbox. I didn't see any PS3 ones, but they had a shelf full of Xbox ones, and yeah, I don't know. But I was a bit pissed off because then they started talking to me about Ultimate Team, and they had T-shirts and stuff, and I was like, I don't give a shit. Fuck off! I just want to play a football game. So, in answer to your question, no, I did not get it from them. So no, I will not be able to get the upgrade, which is I didn't actually know. Actually, or did I forget, or did I not know?
You probably
I'm
forgot
gonna-
to play Max Payne.
On a quick side, did Nathan do his £60 worth of Ultimate Card?
Oh, God knows. God knows.
Didn't he?
I'll mention
go
it
on
if
his
it ever
channel.
happens.
Yeah.
Until then, we'll go back to pretending he doesn't exist.
Like normal. Let's go.
So, that was the other thing. I decided midweek, I'm going to try and play at least one game that's been released on the PlayStation Plus membership because I've been there for a year and try and at least give a rundown of the games. We'll see how it goes. Knowing me, I just get bored halfway through and just be like, fuck it, I'm playing GTA. But that could happen.
At least we'll get Jani's PSN Game of the Week, even if you do get bored halfway through and say fuck it.
But I just realised, and you guys might have picked up on this as well, we're getting these free games and yet we're not playing some of them.
I'm playing most of them.
Yeah,
To
I'm
say.
playing most of them as well.
I've
But
been
we did-
speaking about them a lot of weeks.
I even played
Or maybe you guys,
Spec Ops.
the other two haven't.
Yeah,
I completed Spec Ops. That game was pretty cool.
I hate
Oh yeah,
it.
that little game that nobody knew about.
Yeah.
Well, no, because there's other games like
That's
there's some games like this week that come out. Giant and Sisters, I want to be playing that because I had the original on Commodore 64.
The original Mario ripoff.
It was literally Mario reskin, but this is totally different. It's not even called. It's just called Twisted
Oh,
Dreams rather
what,
than the Great Giants.
what are the PS Plus games this month? I've not actually checked that out.
One of them
Right.
I've been playing. Sorry, I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'll elaborate on it in a minute. But
can morph into it.
Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen is free at the moment.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
That's the thing.
I'll talk about it more in a bit.
FK.
There's also Far Cry 3. The Great Janice Sisters, whatever Janice talking about.
The Great Janny Sisters, yeah.
Yeah, the Great
Gianni
Janice Sisters.
Touch my Katamari.
Yes, that as well.
Yes.
Street Fighter Cross
Tekken.
Tekken.
Street Fighter Cross Tekken for the Vita is free this
Balls. I already have that.
Do you have the cartridge?
Yeah.
Then download it and trade in your cartridge.
Trade it
Don't be
in.
an idiot.
Oh,
Speak-
yeah.
Speaking of trade-ins, oh no, wait, I'm the only one who's got a disc-based version on PS3. Never mind.
Of what?
Well, some consumer knowledge. Apparently, you can trade in Final Fantasy XIV at some popular nationwide video game store, and yeah, so it was like 14 quid. Don't quote me on that, because by the time this goes out, it will probably not be able to trade it in.
They probably want to close down, yeah.
Actually, speaking of uploads, before we move on, Ben,
Yeah?
I was told yesterday that there was an hour, it would be up in an hour. Did it get uploaded?
Yeah, it's up now. Have you
there
not
now.
even checked? It was up last night, like an hour after I texted it, man. What the fuck? Don't just point
post
the
it.
finger for no reason.
Did you post it?
I posted it.
Did you?
Yeah. As we're recording this, the previous week's is already live, I assure you.
Oh, Jesus.
Johnny, you are the worst.
I never got anything, and I didn't see any retweets either, so that's my defense.
That pizza's gone straight to his brain.
Oh, also,
Talented.
I forgot, I played Grid 2 as well. That's it. I played the trial of that. I don't know what the fuss is all about, because it plays exactly the same as Grid 1.
Oh, shit,
It's
then.
got all the same problems as Grid, the original one. Yeah. So
Grid one was pretty meh, man. It wasn't a bad game, I don't think. It just had the problem of coming out about the same time as Need for Speed. Was it Need for Speed Pro Street? Or no?
But no, but
Don't talk to me about either of those games.
The more realistic Forza like Need for Speed game I'm thinking of.
Yeah, what
You remember
was it?
this one?
Yeah, no, I remember. Because I remember saying they're both shit, the handling is terrible.
Well, no,
And
I really liked that Need for Speed
like-
game until I got to the drift section, which was basically unplayable. So
you can't play those games without drifting around at pretty much every corner. It's the most unrealistic handling system ever. And it's not billed as an arcade game like Burnout was. You know.
yeah, I feel like you're being a bit elitist here, considering you're a Forza GT tad.
So... No. Don't get me wrong, right? Grid is fun in small doses. It's one of those. It's like that annoying friend. It's like me. You can take me in small doses, but when you spend a few hours with, you start to realise this is just grating on my nerves.
I never feel that way about you, Jenny. Just saying.
The fuck is
Ben,
even
how
going
many
on
times?
anymore?
no, Ben, what have we been doing this week?
Well, I've been commuting a lot this week, right? So I picked myself up Killzone Mercenary on the Vita. That's the
did?
first thing I've been doing, yeah. So
Holy
I've
shit.
been playing that game. It's pretty fun, man. I can say with certainty that it's a hell of a lot better than Resistance Burning Skies and a hell of a lot better than Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified, even though I haven't played that game.
Nice. One sec, I did mention that I know the guy who did the artwork for the Vanguard card system, right?
No, you didn't mention that.
So yeah, there was this
Probably
guy.
never heard of him.
Yeah, well, yeah. His name's Tom Mack. He's got a website and everything. He's real. Yeah, he worked with Sony Cambridge, and yeah, he did all the artwork for the Vanguard. You know the cards you pick up in multiplayer.
Yes.
All the artwork, he did that, and they're really cool.
That is really awesome, man. Shout out to that guy. He did an amazing job. They look great.
Yeah, he's a fantastic graphic artist. So, no, yeah. Anyway, carry on. How was it?
Freaking awesome.
It's a good game.
It's fun, man. I was genuinely surprised by how much of an emphasis there is on stealth in that game. In the campaign, it's very much choose whether you want to go in guns blazing or go in stealthy. Every single level so far, other than like sort of boss fight type things, you're able to stealth through. So you get like a Metal Gear Solid style map, and you can go around and you can stealth kill people and stuff, and like not be alerted. It's
Nice.
pretty cool. I almost never do that because I freaking
Yeah.
suck, and I got myself the railgun. I saved up all the money to buy the railgun, which just sort of charges up and fucking explodes people. So I didn't really focus on stealth at all. It's
So
pretty good.
How do you find the graphics and the controls? That's probably the most
It
important
looks
thing.
beautiful. I think it's been overhyped. I think people have overhyped the graphics slightly. It still looks amazing. I'd say it's probably on par with Uncharted for the Vita.
I would
in
say it
terms
looks
of
better than
graphics.
Uncharted.
I don't know, man. I think people
It
forget
looks
how
great.
good Uncharted looked.
Yeah, maybe.
It does look nice, very nice. One of the best looking handheld games I've played, but it's not like as amazing as everyone's billed it to be. Online, on the other hand, is exactly as amazing as people have billed it to be. It feels just like a console like shooter experience on my
does.
handheld. Like, even though it's only 8-player online, it still feels strong. The maps are set out in a really good way where you don't really have any downtime. There's always people around. So I haven't played any team games yet. I've been doing a lot of sort of lone wolf deathmatch style stuff. And it's really quick paced, like really fun. Really enjoying that game. It's awesome. Pick it up if
That's
you have
really
a
good.
Vita. I
think
need
I
more
will pick it up
competition
and,
online.
Yeah, that sounds good. Excellent.
I also played some more Disgaea whilst I was on my travels. That game continues to be awesome, but it probably will be awesome till the end of time. Outside of that, I picked up a couple of Blu-rays. The first Blu-ray set I picked up was Dead Man Wonderland. I'm not sure if you remember that anime.
Fantastic. Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, so I bought the complete series. It's only 12 episodes and an OVA on Blu-ray and watched that. Oh my god! Right? It looks amazing. Right,
Yeah.
for a start. But that dub, I don't remember because I watched it in fan subs as it was being released in Japan. So
Yeah.
I don't remember whether the dialogue was like this in the fan subs or not. But this dub has the most swearing in it that I've heard since Cyber City Oedo 808 back in the day. Every
Really?
other line coming out of their mouths, they're just like, fucking motherfucking cunt. I was just like, what? Like,
No way.
That language doesn't exist in Japan. They weren't saying that. Like, it's pretty hardcore, man. I'll have to let you guys borrow it. It's pretty funny. Like, some of the things they come out with genuinely made me burst out laughing.
Good anime. What else did you get?
I also picked up Berserk Movie 2 Battle for Doldra on Blu-ray as well, which
Love
continues to be awesome. What an amazing series. I read up a little bit on it, that there's no official plans to continue the series. I mean, the third movie is out in Japan already, right? We're going to be getting that one towards the end of the year. But the creative team have said that there is interest in continuing it and maybe progressing on to the Black Swordsman arc and stuff, which would be absolutely fantastic. So I hope that happens. And yeah, that's pretty much been me this week.
Good stuff.
Not exactly interesting, but what the hell? We shoot the shit here. Let's move along to stuff that people actually give a shit about. Last week we were talking about Valve having some announcements coming, right? And they said they've got 3 announcements, which I fucking knew they were trolling, let's be honest. Just saying trolling. 3 announcements. The popular theories were that it could be Portal 3, it could be Half-Life 3, it could be Team Fortress 3, Left 4 Dead 3, any of their games that have been stuck at 2. It was none of those things. It was none of those things. So we'll go through them one at a time. The first announcement was the Steam OS, correct?
Yeah, it was the Steam OS. So it's going to be a free OS operating system. It's going to be targeted for the TV, though, right? So
yeah, it's going to
use it.
It's going to be Linux based as well, so it's not going to be tied to any sort of companies or anything like that. It's going to be completely open source.
So that's cool. I guess that's useful. Obviously, that's going to tie in with their next announcement, which is the Steam machines. They're basically PCs running SteamOS for your TV. I read somewhere that they're targeting people who already have a PC.
Yeah,
and Steam.
Apparently you need a gaming rig to do the hard work whilst the Steam machine streams it to your TV.
Oh, is that what it is?
Huh? No, that's what I got from it. See, now I could be reading that completely wrong, and that the machines themselves wouldn't have the best capabilities and stuff, and that if you did want to run really high quality games, you'd still need a gaming rig. That's what I thought anyway.
Okay, yeah, I just thought they were like mediocre PC gaming rigs, much like the Piston.
The Piston. Valve, man, they stepped away from that super quick, didn't they?
They did, didn't they? So until they actually show us some hardware, we're still all a bit unsure what a Steam machine is.
I think it's a cool idea though. I like the way that it's not just one design. Like they're working with multiple different partners to bring out a load of different designs so that it would fit with your room.
It'll benefit the customer. I think the most interesting announcement then of all three was their Steam controller.
See,
I don't think there's anything.
I don't like the look of it at all, but I know I shouldn't judge it, man. Did the rest of you guys see this controller? Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it, and I was a bit like, "What is it?" at first. And I realized
It does look really weird. Jamie, did you see it?
I don't know what's going on with it. The picture I saw just looked like it was the back of the pad, but does it have buttons and stuff? Or
No, so
no,
basically,
not really.
where usually on the say you have a PS3 pad and you have the thumbsticks.
Yeah.
So those thumbsticks have been replaced with trackpads.
Right. Yeah. That's
Kind of like what
you think. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's obviously supposed to be like a lot more accurate for like aiming and moving.
The trackpads can also be rebound as well in different areas to serve as face buttons and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's very customizable, and like the triggers are pretty much like left click, right click. So, yeah, I think it could work. I think it looks interesting. I'd like to try one.
There's something to be said about having an analog stick, though. I get the Valve want to innovate and they want to change things, but the current generation of controllers that we have for consoles and stuff, they're built on 20 years of experience. So they've been like iterating, finding what works and just bringing it forward to bring us all the way up to like the Xbox 360 pad and going forward the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One pads. They are the controllers that are going to work the best because
one thing I'm going to say, did you ever play Metroid Prime on the DS?
Yes, I did.
And how did you have like the little thumb strap and you use that on the touchscreen to sort of control a first person shooter? You didn't use it.
I just used the stylus and it worked fine.
I see. Because the little thumb thing and using that on it worked really well, and by the end of it you were pulling off headshots very seamlessly. It controlled better than a 3D stick would. I felt. So if they can I guess that's sort of the direction they're going in. I reckon it could work. That's why I'm a bit, because obviously they're trying to capture the mouse feel, aren't they? That sort of precision.
The initial reports from devs from Sega and stuff say that like it is nice, but again they're kind of apprehensive because they're so used to analog sticks and stuff. They said moving their thumbs across the trackpads feel a lot like moving it across like a trackball, like on a mouse. But
really?
Instead of it rolling around, like you get that same feeling, and you feel it sort of click a bit as well. Like not in an analog way, like in a digital way. It sort of like vibrate clicks as you roll across it, which apparently is really like useful in like determining how far you've gone and stuff. Which I think sounds cool, but depending on the price, I'm not sure it's something that I'd be willing to drop a lot of money on to see if I would enjoy it.
Yeah, true.
If that makes sense. If there was a way that I could try it, say like if there was booths set up at high street game retail stores and stuff, where I could go in and feel what the controller's like before dropping money on it, there's a good chance I might be able to be converted. But if I have to drop sort of £70 to get one, and then it turns out that I don't like it, it's just £70 wasted.
So we're quite scared of it. We're just going to stick with our normal control methods, maybe.
If it becomes par for the course, I'm fine with that. But as it stands, I enjoy my analog sticks and my archaic button-based controllers.
Anything to add, guys?
Fucking caveman-like, with our buttons.
I know.
Yeah.
If I could still use a joystick, I would.
Fucking hell. I remember now the launch of the N64, the first analog stick to be 360-degree control. Oh, it was a beautiful moment in my life.
Yeah.
It's like the most refreshing moment of playing video games I've ever felt. Just having full 360-degree control. We take it for granted now, of course. But yeah, wow.
Speaking of wacky-ass controllers, the N64 controller was a mindfuck when I first picked one up, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, Trident work, man.
Three handles. I don't have three hands. What am I going to do? Like, once you got used to switching between the middle and the side, depending on which you needed, it was fine. But it was a bit
rarely
of a
had-
janky controller, wasn't it?
You rarely had to use a D-pad though, and this is what a lot of people tended to forget. That I don't think I had any games that used the D-pad. Now I look back on it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
such a strange thing, wasn't it?
Wasn't the trigger on the middle as well?
The Z
Yeah.
The Z
button,
trigger, yeah. So that was how you shot in GoldenEye, right?
Yeah.
So
Unless
you were
changed it.
pulling that trigger with your left hand to fire in GoldenEye. That's weird, man. How
Right.
used to you are firing, like everyone's used to pulling the right trigger or the right bumper to fire now.
No, but at that time it was normally A or something to shoot. Then it was. I mean, I use Z as aiming. So as a sniper, I thought that worked quite well. Because I changed the controls around a bit. So I don't know. I thought the Z button was brilliant.
It was
in
amazing
the right-
at Ocarina of Time, I'll give you that.
It was in the right space. It was in the right place. You know. I had no problems with it at all.
I love the 4C buttons as well. Oh, I love the N64 Trident pad.
Really? You enjoyed those
Yeah.
C buttons?
Favorite pads.
I love it so much. It's like my favourite pad.
I love that it had loads of expansions as well. I love it when stuff plugs into controllers, man.
Oh, a little bit of memory card, love, and a rumble pack. Oh,
Yeah. Even the
Yeah.
Dreamcast, man. The VMU is one of my favourite things ever. Like just that
Just
little
like things slung into
the
things,
little
don't you?
screen thing that plugs into the controller.
Giggity,
You
giggity.
could play some really shit little like old school
Yeah.
Snake style games on it as well when it
Yeah,
was out.
I love that as well. The idea that you could sort of take your game with you.
It was cool, man. I liked
No one
it.
knew
back
about
then.
it. It was a Dreamcast.
The Dreamcast, man. It was before its time, definitely.
Yeah.
No, it was. It was. It was after the Saturn, and it was always going to fail.
I liked it. Leave it alone. Cool. Well, was anyone disappointed by those announcements? I know I was. I was hoping
Pretty
for
much
something great.
everyone in the world was disappointed.
Really, you guys were actually expecting them to have one of the thirds in the series?
To one of
Really-
them, at least.
You-
Or to
you
at
really
least
thought-
like be like, oh look, this is our hardware, this is our OS, this is also the only way you're going to get to play these, and then at least show us some teasers. But
they're not going to do it for a while.
Yeah.
And to be honest, this will probably make you more disappointed because they'll probably wait a little bit longer to start throwing money at a game. So, and it may end up being honed on their system, but it's going to be a while before they release a new one. So you probably need to buckle up until. Well, you may end up with a Portal or Left 4 Dead, as far as I'm concerned. But I can't see a Half-Life 3 coming out anytime soon, if at all.
Just give me Left 4 Dead. Just give me
Yeah.
Left 4 Dead. That's
I'd-
such a good game.
I'd be down for more Left 4 Dead, definitely.
But wait till they can start locking it down for their own things. Nobody else can have this. It's exclusive now.
I don't think they'd do that. I feel like they wouldn't do that. It's always been the better experience through their own platform, right? Because Left 4 Dead, there's like a fuck ton of like new maps and stuff that people have made for Left 4 Dead. Like so much more content on PC than there is on the console front. I feel like it would just work the same way. The console ones would be locked to the campaigns that it comes with, and the SteamOS version would be completely customizable with everyone's created content. That's how I feel it would work anyway.
That works, yeah. That'll
Yeah,
do,
but-
won't it?
But if you knew that those games were coming out on their system first, are you going to wait until it comes out on the others, or are you going to buy that one first?
To be honest, if they came out on SteamOS first, they'd probably be doing. That would be the best situation for them, right? Because
well, let's face
people
it.
that really want it will buy the SteamOS systems to get them first, and probably still buy them on console anyway. So
But what if they turn around and was like, "Hang on a sec, we've got some real big hitters on our back catalogue now, and everybody's screaming themselves over a third of the series. Why don't we just do what Nintendo have been doing for years and have our own console and release our games for that console only?" And then they've got a cash cow right there.
it would work if they had the balls to go out and do that. It would work. It would piss a lot of people off.
Would it?
Yeah, basically the entire PC hardcore base that they've built. I mean, if you look at it this way, PC basically is their console system. Like Valve is to PC what Zelda and stuff are to Nintendo, you know, if that makes sense. Valve release their games almost exclusively, the best versions come out on PC, and through their own Steam store. They have their own platform. Steam, as a delivery service, is a platform. It's just digital.
It's it's the most popular one around.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's a lot of a lot of people don't see Steam or Valve, I should say, as evil as all the others. They see it as quite. Maybe it's because of the summer sales.
Everyone hated Valve when it first came out.
Yeah,
Well,
they did.
hated Steam. Yeah, everyone absolutely hated Steam when it first came out. But then slowly, with all their sales and convenience of cloud saving and
Well,
shit.
Steam's also had about 10 years of improvements to get to where it is today, where it's a really good service.
See, I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
thought,
Origin's not going to do very well.
Origin's
Origin?
dead.
Yeah. People still hate that.
It'll probably be disbanded by the time this podcast goes out. So
I know. Yeah,
because such a history.
Cool. That is Valve news. I'm fucking fed up of talking about Gabe's company now, so I think we should move on. LucasArts just released a list of games that were cancelled when they closed down their development studios. I know none of them. Surprise, surprise, with the exception of Star Wars 1313, which was looking pretty cool when they showed it. That was the one that was going to be sort of based around being a bounty hunter, right?
Ah, well, look at that. Basically, then I've from that list, I just handpicked 2 that I thought really stood out, and that's one of them. So we'll be talking about that.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be about Boba Fett. I'm not a Star Wars guy. I don't know what that means.
Well, Boba Fett was a bounty hunter, but I don't think you played as him in this game. You were sort of a different bounty hunter. But the trailer that was available online looked absolutely phenomenal. That was before the next-gen announcements had already gone out, and everyone was speculating, this has to be next-gen because it looks amazing.
I think it was one of the first games we saw that was dubbed next-gen, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. I mean, it's cancelled now, but it looked phenomenal, man. I hope it finds its way to a studio that can finish it because it did look amazing. What did you guys make of it? You saw the 1313 trailer, right?
Looks pretty cool.
Well, there's more that's come about now in that some of the guys at IGN were shown some 15-minute demo, and a lot of it was still like wire work and things like that. But it turns out it is centered around Boba Fett.
It was.
And it was going to be centered around Boba Fett. It was going to bridge the gap between the trilogies. So you would start the game wearing his father's helmet, and as you progress, you get all like your weapon upgrades and things. And eventually, by the end of the game, you're looking at the start of the Episode 4 film. So they were going to bridge it with that, and you were going to have like a little sidekick droid as well and stuff.
See, now I want to play it even more.
Because the Bounty Hunter game that came out was dreadful on the GameCube.
I didn't play it, but I did hear that it was bad. I don't.
The guys who did the Star Wars Unleashed, right? Same.
I don't think so.
That's in the LucasArts studios, but I don't know who.
I feel like that studio was disbanded after Force Unleashed 2.
It was, wasn't it? That's because the game kind of got cut short and was kind of just like rushed out. Because number 2 was quite bad compared to number 1.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Force Unleashed 1. Second one was just proper shit, actually, in comparison.
Force Unleashed 1 was a deserved game. It was a great game. But then number 2, it just kind of rushed through it all. I remember the expansion pack where I got to kick Ewoks around and stuff. That was fun. So that's the sad news. And the other bit I think Gianni might know a little bit about. I'm hoping so. Anyway, now I've said that. But Tim Schafer then would have worked, and they would have brought about the HD remaster of the Monkey Island games, right?
Yeah.
And the next one was going to be Day of the Tentacle.
Yeah, I mean it's funny because I didn't think it didn't dawn on me till earlier on today that how close the Monkey Island games would have been to just being lost for eternity. We wouldn't have got. I mean, it was what. All right, that's probably a bit of an exaggeration, but it could have happened. They pulled the plug. But yeah, Day of the Tentacle was a game I downloaded not long ago. Actually, I didn't play too much of it, but it had that same sort of that quirkiness. And I don't know what happened. I think I reset my computer in the end, but it did have that whole charm, and it's a real shame that this current generation isn't going to be able to play it unless they do what I did. It's the most intriguing thing though about this whole thing with LucasArts is apparently 2 games were ready to be released. They were all completed, and they were just ready to be signed off. I'm just getting the list up now. And they cancelled it. I just don't understand. Maybe Disney just had a complete change your heart.
If I was working for LucasArts and I was on the team that made one of those games, if I just spent two plus years working on this product and they were like, right, it's cancelled, I would be fucking furious and I would upload all of the code to file sharing sites. Just
let it go then.
Straight up. Just like, you're not going to fucking release it. Mate, this game is getting played. I'd upload it straight away. I don't care if I lost my job at all. I just want someone to play it.
How's that for your CV? You know, if you do still release it or your hard work, you want somebody to have a go on it.
Well, yeah. I mean, you've worked on this. You've created this experience for 2 years, maybe longer. And then they've just been like, right, well, you've done all that for nothing because we're not going to release it. So nobody's going to play it. It's no secret that I want to be in the games industry one day, right? And that is the draw for me, that I'd want to create something that people could play. I'd want to create things and then get feedback from people who are playing it and see what they liked about it and stuff. I'd imagine that's a draw for a lot of the people in the industry. And to just be turned around and told, like, no, we're not releasing it now, it's done. Like, that must be crushing, man. Especially if the product's done, ready to go.
But do you know, actually, the one thing that really disappoints me about all this, when LucasArts did get disbanded, was, I think I've said this before, but Grim Fandango is absolutely gone. There's literally no chance of that ever being a HD remix.
Remember who was responsible for Grim Fandango, though, and remember that they pretty much make up Double Fine at this point. So you should be looking to Double Fine for those type of games now, rather than.
No, but my
point, getting nerdy, isn't it?
Well, not really, but
no, that's good.
You lost me at Grim Fandango.
Yeah, exactly. That's the sort.
I know he's like skeleton dude with a cigar, but I never played it.
This is the thing. I spent a lot of time getting that game working on my PC, and I can't believe I missed out of it when I was younger. And it's just so funny, that game. It's brilliant. But this is the thing. I'm going to sound like a right geek now because I think I'm the only one out of us four who's played it.
I haven't played it, but that's because when I was younger, I didn't really appreciate adventure games as much as I do now. I played Sam and Max when I was a kid. That was really enjoyable, but that was pretty much as far as it went. I only really started enjoying sort of Monkey Island and stuff recently, when I've been sort of going back and getting into that genre. So.
Well, just to show you how good it is, it's got. I'm just quickly looking at some of the scores. Game rankings 93%. Metacritic's got 94 out of 100. Nothing's below 90% on this.
The drawback is the sales, though. It didn't sell very well at all.
There was a reason as well, and that was because they changed the engine from what the Monkey Island games were made on. They changed it to it was Scum-E or something like that. It was basically the same sort of engine that Sam and Max was on, because Sam and Max didn't sell that great either. And what happened is that you needed quite not a specific computer at the time, but it was quite a funny configuration, and that's why it didn't sell very well. It wasn't that.
I'll tell you what's sort of sparked my re-interest in it. That was the Walking Dead game, man. So as soon as that came out, I just wanted more point and click adventure games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I say look at Double Fine, look to Telltale as well, man. If you're looking for your adventure games fix, their new game coming out, Fables, I believe it is, based on the comic strip of the same name. That took him really strong as well, man. If you enjoyed the point and click style of the Walking Dead games, definitely check that one out. Jamie, that's probably one. Have you heard of that one?
Fables, sorry.
Yeah.
The name sounds familiar. I'm going to have to go away and have a little look, aren't I?
That is going to be one that you need to check out, man, because it's basically kind of like fairy tale creatures and stuff that have been sort of uprooted from their fairy tale world and now live in Manhattan. And you play as the big bad wolf, and he's sort of like the sheriff of the town. He just looks like a guy, but you are the big bad wolf, and he's the guy who sort of keeps them in check and make sure they're all okay. And you're sort of solving murders and stuff that are going on in that community. It sounds pretty awesome, man.
Sounds crazy.
Yeah, no, it sounds really good. It's based on a graphic novel series, and I forget the author's name right now, but definitely look for that one, Fables. It looks awesome.
Is this PC or am I going to be able to get this on a thing I actually care for?
I would hope it's going to go the way of Walking Dead and be a multi-plat release, but it's definitely coming to PC.
You would hope with the success of The Walking Dead that it opens up to consoles getting these sort of things more.
Exactly, because it's going to get a lot of like attention just from the creators of Telltale's Walking Dead. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that won tons of awards.
I'm on that straight after the podcast, and I'm gonna have a little look.
Sweet,
nice.
Cool. Was there anything else LucasArts related on the list that actually mattered?
Nah,
they were the two. There was going to be like a Wii U TIE Fighter game and stuff. Like, I don't know, but no, they were the two that I thought mattered. So
I mean, LucasArts, to be honest, they were sat on that property for too long, man, and not doing anything with it. EA have had it all of a few months, and they've already announced like Battlefront 3 is going to happen. So I'm fine with that.
Yeah, they've done something right.
It's all good. All right, well, moving on then. The Last of Us DLC has been detailed. Towards the end of the year, we're going to be getting... Is it towards the end of the year we're getting the map pack?
What would you like to know? Right, multiplayer content will be coming on October 15th. I'm not sure if that's here and the States, but yeah, that's just a couple of weeks away. That is going to feature some new maps. There's going to be like some library levels where you're on 2 floors. Take it up a bit vertical. There's also going to be wild giraffes roaming around in one of the levels. Don't know how you can interact with them. You might be able to ride giraffes.
Oh my god.
Will you shoot it in the face?
Drive by giraffe in. I don't know. We'll find out on October 15th. I haven't actually played the multiplayer yet, though. Any good?
It's kind of like the single player, actually. It's a lot like the single player. Minus... Wait, no.
I know our friend Nick has been playing a lot of the last.
Basically, the stuff you can do in the single player, the whole like crafting and stuff like that, you can do all of that in the multiplayer as well. It kind of feels like the single player experience, except obviously you're playing against other players, so they're not as dopey as the AI. It's quite tense, actually. It's pretty awesome.
They don't follow strict lines. They know where they walk. But yeah, that you know, if you like your multiplayer and you like The Last of Us, it's coming the 15th of October. Giraffe drive-bys.
Giraffe Theft Auto.
Giraffe Theft. Where'd you fill up the gas? Single player content will be coming in December/January.
Did you say what it will
be? Just finished casting for a new character.
Yep.
So that's
They said they just finished doing the mocap with a new character. So.
Ooh.
So do you know if this takes place after?
They haven't confirmed anything other than that they've just finished doing the mocap for a new character.
Okay.
So whether that is going to be, like you were saying before, whether that's going to be Ishmael and like hearing his backstory and stuff like that.
That would be cool.
Whether it's going to be someone else interacting with Joel and Ellie.
It has to be
I don't know.
Ish.
But I'm excited.
Standalone.
I'd love it if it was standalone. I just want more Last of Us, man. What a fantastic game. And the last piece is, after that drops, there's going to be another multiplayer map pack, correct?
Ugh.
Yeah, because they're talking about your cashing in on buying one of those stupid pass things, aren't they? So you get all of those 3.
Season pass.
Season pass, that's the one. Thank you, Johnny. Yeah,
that's all right.
You get the season pass. They're your contents. It's probably all they'll do then, isn't it?
I really don't think it needed multiplayer, but that's a different discussion.
You haven't spent enough time with the multiplayer though, Johnny, man. I think we need to sit down, me, you, Nick, and whoever still owns Last of Us. Do you guys still own it?
Mine is a download, so I have to own it.
Yeah, so we should sit down and play some multiplayer together, and I think
fun.
You'll appreciate it, man, after you spend a little bit of time with it.
The argument against multiplayer would be if the single player suffered. But as the single player hasn't suffered, then fair enough. It's there.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, there is that.
That's true.
Single player definitely hasn't suffered.
Love that game.
Cool. And all right, moving forward then to another piece that I know absolutely nothing about, even though I should, because it's Mighty Number 9 stuff, and I got super hyped for it after I found out about it the other week. Apparently there's been an update, which I still haven't heard about.
Yeah, I think I'm right in saying something. It's just they got stretch goals for the PS Vita and 3DS versions of it.
Yeah, so I mean, when I say update, it was just more that I wanted to give an update. And
oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's so we talked about it a few weeks ago. The original goal would have been $900,000.
Yeah.
With just over 48 hours left to go at the time of recording, they are looking at 2.8 million at the moment.
Nice.
And then just shy of 50,000 backers at this point as well.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably going to be a moot point, man, when this actually goes up. But have you guys pledged to it as well? Yeah.
I
I've got
haven't,
to.
but that's because it's already past its thing. So it's going to come either way. Because I still see Kickstarter as kind of a gamble. You don't really know what happens to your money. I don't know, because I know that it's reached its goal. It should therefore be made.
Well, I
I
mean,
don't.
the way I look at it, right? It's reached its goal, but anything added onto that is only going to improve the experience. And it's just like pre-ordering your copy of the game, really.
It isn't like pre-ordering though, because you don't know what you're pre-ordering.
Well, this is it. If I'd have pledged and it had only just made its initial goal, right? Then I would have been stuck getting a PS3 version or a Wii U version. No, that's a stretch goal as well. So I would have been stuck with a PC version. And I didn't want a fucking PC version of this game. One of the stretch goals later on is a PS3 360 Wii U version. Great. Then I'd want to pledge because then I'd want to maybe get it on that. But then you see the later stretch goals where they're now looking at reaching for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One if they reach 3.3 million.
Yeah, there's no trailers, there's no gameplay yet, is there? It's completely you're just we're gonna make Mega Man again.
Well, in his announcement trailer, you do see some of the renders on their system of like how the weapons are going to change on the arm and stuff like that. And you've basically just got to imagine that it is going to be a lot like Mega Man. So it's going to be in that style, and it's going to be a lot like Mega Man.
I would love a Vita version if if all does go well and
3.5 million to get the Vita and 3DS one.
Yeah,
the thing with Kickstarter is, and I've only ever backed one Kickstarter, so my sort of ethos for it is never back a project with money that you aren't okay to lose. So the only project I backed was, I'm not sure if you guys have seen the web series Dorelius and Associates.
No.
Nope.
Basically, they ran a Kickstarter so that they could finish their series. It was originally running on the Escapist website, and they got cancelled, and they moved to YouTube and started re-uploading their entire series. And then as they sort of progressed towards the end of their series, they launched their Kickstarter campaign. And I think that's one of the best animated shows online, man. It's absolutely fantastic. So I just gave them £20 because I'd watched all of this content, hours of content from them, and I thought, this is a great show. I'd love to see it get an ending. So if I can contribute, then I will. And they haven't really announced anything towards like when the episodes are going to be coming out yet. But I'm fine knowing that like that money's gone towards helping them make it. Like even if it's just a case of it doesn't get made, like I'm fine with giving them that money because they've given me all these hours of entertainment anyway. So
fair enough.
The same thing will go with Mighty Number 9, man. Like, how many of Inafune's games have I played and just really enjoyed? I know I've bought them, like, but how many times have I really enjoyed his games? And now he really wants to do something. I can give him £20 and just like be done with that. Like, if I get a game out of it, that's fucking fantastic. If not, like, I don't mind giving Inafune £20. Do you know what I mean?
I think you've hit the nail on the head there with Kickstarter, and I know why it's there, but the problem is some people get involved in the hype, and then they get really excited and they throw it in, and then a lot of, some projects do fail. Now, I remember when the Ouya was being was just setting Kickstarter alight, and I very, very nearly put down 90 quid or whatever, £100 on a console, and I'm so fucking glad I didn't, because I'd be really disappointed. And I don't know if I'd be more disappointed in the fact that they released a heap of shit, not a heap of shit, but with a shit controller and really underwhelming, than if they just folded.
It's not done well, has it? No.
Yeah, so that's all because of the hype. I mean, it all sounded great, blah blah, but the fact that you said I've watched, I've played these guys' old series or whatever, and I think they deserve my money, even if it fails. At least I gave them a chance, and I think it's a great way of supporting Kickstarter.
Yeah, because the target release date for this game is 2015, I think it is, isn't it? That's what it says in the little info box. 2015.
But again, I'm fine with that. I'd rather Inafune and his team take this money and don't be bullied by people that have backed the Kickstarter. That's another thing that happens a lot on Kickstarter. People bitch and moan, oh, where's our product that we've paid for and stuff. Well, you've paid for them to develop this product, right?
Yeah, you're not really.
Surely it would be better for them to take their time, release a really good product out of it, and then you be happy that like your investment of money has gone towards making this great thing,
Yeah, but that's the same with all shareholders. It's the same with EA with a smaller publisher, or developer, I should say. Always happens that again, people just want people just want too much control over it, rather than letting the developers run free with their ideas. They're like, you got to do this, or we want that, and then if they don't cater for that, games can get cancelled. Or the reception shit, because some people had it in their idea that, we want all this, and then the developer goes, well, this is what we released, and they're like, well, that's not what we wanted. So yeah, I mean that's always going to be the problem with the gaming industry, is that there's too many people trying to get involved that don't understand how to make a game, or how much they should progress it to a certain extent.
It's an instant gratification kind of thing, They want to see returns or something instantly, And a game gets announced, right? And then they just get badgered. When's it coming out? We want it to come out. When's it coming out? Bring it out now. And then you end up with like buggy, unfinished mess games, which isn't good, man. I've bitched about it before, I know. But I'd rather companies kept things under wraps until they were basically finished, or in a position where like everything's set in stone. This is how the game's going to be. Like, we're pretty much ready to go, but we just need to polish things off. I guess we'll announce it now, rather than doing a Square Enix and announcing Final Fantasy Versus 13 and then 7 years later releasing Final Fantasy 15. So
actually, that touches on what we were talking about the other week about Notch's game, and that he pulled it because there was suddenly all this hype around it, and he said everyone was talking about it, and then somebody got hold of the code or something, and he said it's just gotten too big, and that's exactly what he was getting at, was that too many people were getting involved outside, that whatever they would have released wouldn't have met those expectations, and he wanted to go back to being a small time, an unknown almost, so he could release something and that people would appreciate it for what it is. A bit like take Thomas Was Alone. There was that was one of my surprise games that I've played recently, and absolutely enjoyed it, and it was perfect what it was. But had it been bigger, I reckon it wouldn't have worked as well.
Yeah,
I'm trying
not to get too hyped again about Bithel's new game. Even though I think it looks really good, and I'm definitely going to buy it.
What's his new game?
It's kind of like, I've already forgotten what it's called, which isn't good because I was pretty hyped up for it. It kind of looks like Metal Gear Solid VR Missions, the game.
Yeah,
you remember the one?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
I'm kind of excited. Like,
I thought it looked a bit
really
rubbish.
want to play it, but I'm not going to get hyped for it. I'm just going to buy it when it comes out and be surprised. So
how bad it is.
I may end up buying it.
Hopefully not.
I may end up buying it because I didn't end up giving any money for Thomas Was Alone, and I love that game so much that I feel like they should at least benefit, like, from something that
Fair enough.
So which might sound a bit weird, but yeah.
Cool. So the long and short of it is, Mighty Number 9 is looking good. It's doing well on Kickstarter. It's done well on Kickstarter. Let's say that. You should probably look at picking it up. And if you are going to back a Kickstarter, don't back for more money than you're willing to lose. Like I said, after recording of this podcast, I'm probably going to go and back Mighty Number 9 for £20 again. Just because I feel that, like, if Keiji Inafune said to me, dude, can I have 20 quid? I'd be like, yeah, fine, that's cool. You can have 20 quid.
You do $20, you get the $20 will get you the download. So you get there.
There you go. So if Inafune asked me for $20, I'd give it to him. So I'm fine with dropping $20 on his Kickstarter.
And then you'd let him have some money.
Ben, can I have 20 quid? That's 20 quid, Ben.
Cool.
No.
Well, we talked a lot about games, man. That was a good old game discussion.
It was a good old game.
It was good old game chat.
Yeah.
Jamie, let's talk TV, bro, because we have TV shows.
I think we're gonna rule the other guys out here, but maybe we can school them and get them interested, right?
Yep.
No spoilers.
What do you
So
want
as
to
I've
start?
titled this, TV, and more fucking TV. So let's do it, right?
All right.
I've got a few shows. If I just list them, and then you can jump in, Ben, we'll have a little chat, try and get these guys interested, right?
Cool.
All right.
So we'll start with the big one.
Yep.
'Cause obviously,
Breaking
I
Bad.
know these guys. No, we don't do Breaking Bad on this.
Oh.
No, these are new shows or shows that are just starting now.
S.h.i.e.L.D.
There we go. Right, Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D. That was going to be the first big one. I'm hoping
Yeah.
this is something you guys can get into.
So you've watched the first episode?
Yep.
Yeah, premiered in America on the Tuesday. We get it on the Friday nights. So we're just coming into this podcast now, having watched the first episode.
All right. Talk to me.
He said, and then my poster fell down off the wall. What the fuck is that? That was scary. Just like, suddenly this giant ponyo falls off the wall on me. Right. So Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D. will tie into the Marvel universe. And if you've seen the trailers and you know what happens in Avengers, then there's not really much to hide from you that you see Coulson there.
Yeah. WTF.
Yeah, so they kind of talk about how he didn't die and that he was just on rehabilitation in Tahiti on holiday. But then something that's been picked up on online is that he says the word magic quite a lot.
Well, there's also other things, right? So he's saying that he almost died or whatever. His heart stopped for 10 seconds, right? He said,
Yeah.
He says 40 seconds, and then the woman's like, it was 10 seconds. That story gets longer every time you tell it, right? But later on in the episode, someone mentioned something behind his back after he's just said something about it. Someone says something along the lines of, does he still not know, or something. So that's even more sort of curious to me, man, as to what happened with Coulson.
There's magic involved.
I think there could be.
It's going to be
He's
something
an
like
android.
that. But no, on the show, though, you're looking at then just letting you see that these guys can also be the heroes without having powers, you know? They use their brains, they're clever tacticians, some of them have got the muscle. It gets a bit like Bourne Identity with the one guy. That opening scene, well, one of the opening scenes there, then when he goes into that place in Paris, starts like knocking people out in the house. I was waiting for Jason Bourne and a toaster and stuff to start flying
Seriously,
around.
dude, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to say that fight scene was straight out of Jason Bourne, man. Especially when he hits him with the drawer, like pushes him down and then punches through the drawer into his face. Like, that was awesome, man. And then kicks his head into the stove. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was a bit violent for an 8 p.m. start, but no, it was good. After that, it mellows out. It knows how comedy works. Let's face it, Joss Whedon's not going to put his name on something unless it's really funny and really clever. And he's always about rooting for the underdog or rooting for the people that nobody notices. You know, like, let's fight in their corner. Let's get people that are normally in the shadows and get them in there. And it is a good show, right?
Yeah, I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Standout moment, right, without giving too many spoilers, was a interrogation scene in the midst of the show where Coulson doses up the badass guy with truth serum and he's not expecting it, and oh my God, I was like almost on the floor laughing. It was an amazing scene. Absolutely fantastic.
But if you love the Marvel Disney verse and you think Coulson's been an integral part of it, then catch this show because it was just funny throughout. Even when it's supposed to be scary and there's a lot of action, and he still manages to keep some humor in there. And also to Kobe Smolder as well, playing Maria again. She's strong again.
Yep.
It's good.
One thing I will say, tying into something you were talking about earlier at the beginning of this podcast, with that actress where like all you could see is Lola Bunny. Whenever the Asian chick was talking, all I could see was Mulan. That's all I could see. That's her, right? Ming Na or whatever her name is. She's the voice of Mulan.
Well, I'm going to go back and watch that again now just to check. Yeah,
this the voice of Mulan. I can just see a Mulan in the show.
I know you would know because Mulan's like your favorite Disney, right? So I know you.
It's up there. Mulan and Hercules, man, are my favorites. They're awesome.
Nice.
What's wrong with you?
Nothing.
Then on that
man.
show,
fucking Disney's awesome.
Agents of S.h.i.E.L.D.
Mulan.
Was that? No,
Sorry.
Mulan. No.
Sorry?
Sorry, I butted in on you now.
No.
No. Okay.
It
But
was
no,
irrelevant.
sorry.
Okay.
Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D. then, guys, is that something you'd be interested in?
I definitely want to check it out. I always thought that it definitely looked a bit cheaper than obviously the big movie. You can
Yeah,
see that they had a more of a budget, and I think
you can't expect it to be the same level of quality as the films, right? Because it is a TV series. But there was only really one sort of hammy looking bit of animation, and that was right at the end of the episode. And even then, I could forgive that because it didn't look super, super bad. It's not like BBC level CGI, which is something we'll touch on in a bit. I thought it was really good, Johnny. You can watch it. You can watch it on 4OD or catch up channel 4, depending on which service you have.
Or I'm sure
Yeah.
you know websites.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
websites that you can watch it on. I thought it was a really strong start to a really cool show. All of the characters seem pretty likable as well. There's a lot of dialogue in the show that feels like it's from Iron Man. You know how they have really organic dialogue where both people are talking at the same time and it feels like a real conversation and stuff.
yeah.
There's a lot of that throughout the show. And the
cool.
chick in it, Sky, is smoking hot, man. Like, ridiculously hot. So,
There we go.
good
Have to watch
times, man. There's also a Scottish guy. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd check it out.
And there's a face palm, but I'm not going to talk about it. It's the last minute of the show. There's a face palm. So
There is a
just
face
why-
palm.
there is a
Why is
face
it face
palm.
palm? Why?
It's just fake. I can't. It's a spoiler, so you have to watch it and face palm
Oh.
yourself.
All right.
There you go.
I understand.
Yeah. Where we're going, we don't need face palms. Right. Moving on. Are you guys IT Crowd fans or?
I am,
Yeah.
and I'm so upset, right? I am so upset that I missed it. It was on straight after Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D., which I didn't watch until the day after. Because that day was the day that I was in London, lost all day. By the time I got home, I didn't want to do anything. I just went to bed.
Cried in a corner.
Yeah. Then the next day, I was like, oh shit, Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D. was on last night, and watched that. And then you text me and was like, oh yeah, do you not remember there was like an IT Crowd on afterwards? I was like, oh my god, no. Is that still available to catch on demand?
It should be, shouldn't it? It's a one-off last ever episode of IT Crowd, and it was like an hour-long special one. And it's sad, but it's just as good as ever. Like I was not a massive Father Ted fan, but I still enjoyed it. But this is like more in the area of something I find funny. You know, the characters are better to me. Like for me, IT Crowd is a stronger show. But you can see how the writing is the same. It's the same guy behind them both. So you know, but a one-off last little special. I'm glad Matt Berry was back on board. You know, it's good to see that Chris O'Dowd's not too big in Hollywood to come back and do it as well.
Well, I mean, Chris O'Dowd afterwards said that it was sad with it being the last episode, but he was also kind of glad that it was the last episode and he can't see them doing any more. So, not sure how to take that one.
But no. So try and catch that as well, because if you're a fan, it is like the final send-off now.
Okay.
The standout moment through the show is Matt Berry doing Secret Millionaire for Channel 4. Fucking fantastic.
Oh,
So
yeah,
catch that as well.
That
But no,
guy's
he's
cool.
good. I saw him live a few years ago.
Really?
He's got some musical talent, that man.
Does have some musical talent. I remember playing a lot of his album at a job that we worked at together, man, and that was awesome.
That would have been when Witch Hazel came out a few years ago. I picked it up and brought it into work. Have a little listen. Yeah, goes off on one. He's got like Paul McCartney on there, which kind of goes over my head. I don't care about that stuff, but no. Oh yeah, it's good. It's good, right?
It's good.
It's good, right?
It's good.
Just the whole point of this big TV thing though is that we are in new TV show season now, and
yeah.
that's why I thought it was worth mentioning a lot, because the fall in America, or like this September October time, is when all of these new shows that have been piloted throughout the early part of the year are now commissioned for their series, right? So this is it.
Nice.
This is when you get all these big shows back.
I've started a TV show actually.
Go on
It's
then.
quite a big British one. I don't know if you'll like it. Luther.
Right, yeah, because this
With,
is the guy from
Idris
Pacific
Elba.
Rim Job. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's in that film that everyone loves.
Pacific Rim.
That's the one.
He's in Thor as well, right?
He is in Thor.
Is he in Thor too?
He's
Yeah.
the gate. He's the Guardian guy, right? The gate guardian.
Yeah.
That's him.
Yeah.
Yes, him. Yeah.
What the fuck?
The
Didn't
fudge.
realise. He's amazing though. I really like Idris Elba. He's actually amazing. I'd highly recommend Luther 21, especially you, Jamie. You know, it does remind me a bit of the Sherlock BBC series. It's a BBC production again.
Yes.
It's got a
I know
very
the show. It's on demand now. So if you sell me on this now, I'm going to get down and watch season 1.
you
Yep.
really need to. The first it's just a lot darker than Sherlock, but it's fantastic, and you watch it because of him. He's a really great actor in it, and yeah, very dark, very clever, and quite great. I know you're not into. I know how anti-British you are, but it's a really good London, detective story, and how he's a really like human character. He's got a lot of, pitfalls and shit like that. But no, yeah, he's absolutely fantastic on screen. Idris Elba is just amazing, very very likable and very watchable. I'm up to like episode 4 on season 1. I'm still watching it, but
Are they
Is
like
it-
45 minutes or an
Yeah,
hour?
that's what I was
Yeah.
going to say.
it's about 45, about 40 minutes, 50 minutes,
Okay.
almost an hour, I would say.
So not like mini films like Sherlock then.
They
No,
are
they're
still quite
90,
long.
aren't they?
Yeah, they're like 90. No, yeah, not as long. It's about an hour or just under. But I'd highly recommend it. And it's like I said, it's extremely dark for a BBC sort of produced series. Even the first episode, you'll see. I will say there's one woman who's a bit strange in it, but you sort of get to like her anyway, and she's quite good. But other one, yeah, I'd highly recommend you guys watch it. It's very, very good.
Sweet.
Good. No, I'm gonna have to have a little look then. And
Yeah.
you mentioned Sherlock in there as well. Obviously,
Yes.
season 3 is locked down and it's filmed. Well, a lot of it has been filmed now as well. I've just finished season 1 and 2, sort of like back to back on.
All right.
Blu-ray.
Well, we need to stop this right now then, and you need to tell us what you thought of Sherlock.
Yeah.
It's good. It is good. I'm struggling though because there'll be parts of Elementary that I thought were better, and then there'll be parts of Sherlock that I thought were stronger as well.
Yeah.
I think we can all do modern day adaptation. So Sherlock nailed that. They got it spot on. But I think in terms of doing that, Elementary was the one that was trying it in a newer way and trying new things. Bringing in the female Watson. I mean, it's not groundbreaking to change a character's gender, but it was still a nice spin on the idea. Elementary puts a lot more focus on the drug rehabilitation as well. Like a lot of focus on that.
Well,
Yeah.
And I'm really not a fan of Moriarty in the BBC one.
really? See, I thought Moriarty was amazing in the BBC one.
Yeah, I would liked it as well.
Mainly because they played him as literally like a genius psychopath rather than like the sort of mustache twirling, yes, my plans are all coming together type. Like he
Yeah.
was literally a psychopath.
Like with Benedict Cumberbatch, you can see youth in his face, but you can see things haunting him. In his eyes, in his mannerisms, there is some maturity there. But with this Jim Moriarty character, he looks about 15 and he acts even fucking younger, and it didn't work for me because there's just no sense of an adult fighting an adult. It was almost like him trying to tell off his son.
Well, I think that actually played into its favor. Like he was almost like this psychotic child who saw everything as a plaything. Everything was just a game to him. He didn't care. He just saw it as a game, and to some extent, Sherlock was kind of the same way. He was enjoying that game as well, which I think was another really strong part of that show. I fucking love it, man. Sorry, I'm gonna fanboy out. It's probably gonna sound wrong coming from me. So,
well,
Yeah.
ultimately, I'm picking faults where there aren't faults to be picked. I think I'm just looking really far into it. I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, so you've obviously seen Elemental and Sherlock. So which one do you prefer? Would you still prefer?
If
Yeah,
I had to
American-
choose between, like, let's say they were both to be cancelled and only one could come back, I would rather see the BBC Sherlock show get more time on screen. But there were, like I said, in terms of like reinvigorating and trying new things, I really take my hat off to Elementary for what they've
fair
done.
enough.
But no, they're both really strong. And
Both
you're looking
good.
at Sherlock then probably coming back about New Year now.
They usually do it at Christmas. They show it at Christmas time.
Yeah.
The Sherlock thing. So
The relationship between Martin Freeman and Benedict Cumberbatch was really good as well.
fantastic.
They're good.
I
They're
just
bloody
rewatch
good.
it.
I just love Benedict Cumberbatch's moments in it where like he's just a complete bastard and he doesn't understand he's being a complete bastard because he's like
Yeah.
a sociopath.
Yeah.
Those are my favourite moments, man. When he's explaining, I think it's in like the second episode of season 1, when he's
Yeah.
explaining everything that's wrong with the crime scene to this guy,
Yeah.
like, and he's like, "Do I need to go on?" Well, I've already started, so I'm gonna go on, and he just lists off a ton more things that are wrong. Like, it's, I'm just like, yes, that's awesome. Like,
Gianni, have
yeah.
you seen these?
No, not at all.
Right, I
Yourself-
have to lend you the Blu-ray of. I've got season 1 and 2 on Blu-ray. You have to watch them. You have to like see
Amazing.
the light. You have to be sold on them. Yeah,
Sherlock is
definitely.
fantastic.
Because they're
Yeah.
like when you see them as seasons, they're like 3 films almost in a season.
Mhm.
Then they're 90 minutes each, and there's not a bad episode, is there? They're all really strong.
The weakest one that I found was the Hounds of the Baskerville one, but I still
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
Yeah,
that
I mean
was-
it's
that's
the
the
best
most
of a bad. The worst of a good bunch. Then.
Good bunch, yes. But
yeah.
other than that, I fucking loved all of them, and I still like that one a lot. But yeah, that was the weakest one for me personally. Oh, so good. I'm gonna have to rewatch it before Christmas, so I can get because the ending obviously on season 2 is a big cliffhanger. So
it is a massive cliffhanger
Yeah.
Oh dear.
that I still don't understand. So they're gonna have to do a good job of explaining that one.
I do. I'll write to you on text later. I get it.
Oh, okay,
Do you?
cool.
Yeah.
Add me in the text. I'm still.
I'll try it. I'll go for my formula. I'll go for my theory.
Yeah.
All right, sweet.
See where I get with
Cool.
it.
Moving on then to more new shows.
Yeah, I got like 4 more things to talk about on this one. Yeah, sorry.
Go on then.
There's another one that's probably the weakest in what I'm talking about, but it's the new BBC. Sticking with BBC, they got a new show replacing Merlin. So I never watched Merlin at all.
I watched some
caught-
episodes and it was meh.
Yeah, I thought the
There's a lot
same.
of complaints about the CGI in that show, but it is BBC, so you can't expect like groundbreaking technology and money going in there. We're paying for it after all.
Yeah.
And but they brought Atlantis now. So Merlin basically got to the end of 5 seasons. All of the cast got stuck up their own arse and refused to do season 6 without probably like a massive pay rise.
Really? Is that
So
what?
they've just they've dropped it.
They started thinking it was fucking Game of Thrones, man.
Yeah, that is actually what probably then happened. I'm guessing now. But yeah, so they've gone about this whole Jason, Hercules, Pythagoras. They're going down the Atlantis route. So, I mean, if you saw Merlin and you were okay with that, then it would probably be up your street. Worth a go.
I watched the pilot episode of Atlantis. It was on last night, and surprisingly enough, I enjoyed it. I really didn't like Merlin that much either. So
You mentioned Game of Thrones as well, and it's got the King Robert actor.
the guy who played Robert Baratheon from Game of Thrones is in there playing Hercules. Awesome. It's always nice seeing that guy. If you haven't watched Game of Thrones, you'll know him as the fat one from the Full Monty.
There you go.
You know that
Or
guy?
the guy from the Tesco advert.
Anti-fat bastard cream. No.
Yeah.
I love that guy. I wasn't going to watch it. It was on in my household, and people were watching it, and I was like, oh, this looks a bit like Merlin. It's kind of shit. And then he walked in, and I was like, oh, this guy's in it. Fair enough. I'll watch it.
Arguably the best bit about the show, though.
Yeah, I kind of enjoyed it, man. I kind of enjoyed it. It had the hammy BBC CGI that I knew was going to come. I knew it was going to be there. They ended up getting thrown into this cave where they had to deal with a Minotaur, and I was hoping so hard that they just got like a 6 or 7 foot guy and did it practically with like some practical effects. But no such luck, man. BBC CGI Minotaur looked fucking terrible. Absolutely.
It was like an episode
terrible.
of Nightmare.
It looked really bad. But after that, man, like that happened, and then there was some more like sort of intrigue stuff. I think I'm going to stick with this show at least for a few episodes to see how it progresses.
You have to let us know.
It looks like it has some promise for a BBC thing. Anyway, I'm usually not a fan of stuff they do that isn't Sherlock.
Thing is, we all know how it's going to end, so
I guess.
yeah, that's one thing for it. That's one thing it's got going. It can just end it whenever it wants. But it's using a lot of the mythology in every episode, isn't it? And the teaser for episode 2 introduces Medusa, but she doesn't have the snakes in her hair.
Yes.
Oh,
So it's like,
what?
what's going on? What's going on? But yeah, probably the least important of the ones I wanted to talk about this week. But
Which is a shame because that's probably the last one that I know about from this week. So I missed the pilot of one of the other ones that you want to talk about, which I did want to watch. So
Which is
Right. Okay, sticking with BBC, but BBC America now.
Okay.
There's this show, so it would have been shown in the States back before the summer, and it was really well received. It's been put up for season 2 straight away. But it's a little 10-episode series called Orphan Black. And I'd read about this online earlier in the year through the likes of Bleeding Cool. Just drop them in there again. Look, but I'm going to take their word for it. If they enjoyed this show, I thought, okay, we'll give it a go. And it is like it's a sci-fi set within our realms. But the idea is that this woman witnesses a suicide at a train track, and the woman just looks just like her. So she investigates this, and it turns out that there's a few of them. And then towards the end of episode 1, 2, you're starting to realize that there's this whole connection, and there are loads of these identical women under different identities in different parts of the world. If I go further than that, it starts to give you spoilers about what's going on. But basically, it is this one actress, Tatiana Maslany, and she is playing all of them. And there'll be scenes where she's on screen as 3 people at once. And it's just phenomenal.
I really, really wanted to check out the first episode, but again, I missed it.
mental.
So it's definitely going to be one that I'm going to check out, though. Do you recommend it, Jay?
At the moment, I would probably place it above Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D. if you had to watch one of them.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really good because it's gripping and it's not afraid to do things, and it's after the watershed, so it's a bit more mature. You're seeing gunshots, you're seeing, one of the characters is a police officer, so you get all of that side. You can go down the whole bloody CSI element if you want. One of them is a computer hacker, one of them is a soccer mum, but the main character, Sarah, the one that we were introduced to first, she's this Australian. The opening scene is her at a train station in New York, and that's where she first sees this woman committing suicide. So it's her that we focus on, and it's her that's learning about all the others, whereas the others already know about each other's existence. So it's from her point, because then we get the whole story, which is, well, it's the way you'd want to really write it, isn't it? But it's a thriller. It's fast paced. There's some comedy elements in there as well, because you find that she has a foster brother, and he's sort of like this really camped up guy living in the States as well, and he really goes full out, all the way out there to give you the comedy side of the show. But no, you've got to catch it.
It's definitely one that I'm going to go back and check out, dude, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we're 3 episodes into 10, and like I said, it's already aired in America, so you can probably find that online as well. You can buy the DVD and Blu-ray as well, so which I'm going to have to pick up.
All right, sweet. Let's wrap these up then. What others have we got to talk about?
There's one that is really just quick then, and that's The Walking Dead. So it's not quite back yet, but by the time this airs, the next webisode series will be going live as well. So that's out October 1st. So there'll just be some mini tie-ins. But then the main series we're looking at, I think it's October 13th in America, October 18th here.
Can't wait, dude. Cannot wait.
I'm always going to argue this one against Game of Thrones, aren't I? This is my favourite TV show.
It's not as good, but I'm definitely as excited as I am when Game of Thrones comes back for this. So
it's going to be good. It's going to be good, right? So yeah, that's coming out. The only other thing then, really, we've got the new series of South Park just started this week. It's going to be on Comedy Central midweek. So by the time podcast is live, it's probably been on. But what you're getting this time, and I found out today just before I watched it, it's got Bill Hader on the writing team now. What they've decided to do, rather than go for the usual 7 episodes, take a mid-season break, then 7 episodes, they're just going all out 10 episodes for this season, and just air them back to back week after week. And yeah, Bill Hader's on the writing team now, and that's big to me.
I would know him from.
Well, I mean, you're going to be seeing a lot of him in October. Then, well, hearing a lot of him. He's the voice of Flint from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. He's the guy who runs the amusement park in Adventureland. He's one of the police officers in Superbad. But yeah,
Oh, I do know who he is. Sweet.
Yes, I'm sure he's got a lot of Saturday Night Live credit as well. But
yes, I know exactly who you're talking about now, man. Don't worry.
And a really distinct voice. I'd love to see him pop up in a few episodes as well.
Wait, do I know exactly who you're on about? I've got to say, even if it makes me look like a fucking idiot, is he the dude who's getting proper high at the beginning of Pineapple Express?
Yeah, like they're doing the experiment and he's in the ground.
Okay, I do know who you're talking about then. Yeah.
To think for a minute then. Yeah, that's the one.
Awesome guy. Fucking love that guy.
Yeah, so that could really push for something new there.
Well, I never stopped loving South Park, man. So I'm down for anything they want to try. I can't wait for Stick of Truth. That's happening soon as well. So
yeah, did you guys see the special edition that they've announced this week then?
I think I read about it, but I've instantly forgot, man. I just want to play it. I don't really care about anything else, but carry on.
Gianni sent me a link to the Stick of Truth Wizard Collector's Edition.
What's this?
Is he there?
We'll just pretend he is. I'd imagine he can hear us.
Okay, so Stick of Truth is that new like RPG South Park game, isn't it?
South Park role-playing game by Obsidian.
That hasn't happened yet.
No, because THQ dropped, didn't they? So they had to be moved on. But they're going to do like a special edition, and I was really hyped for it until I saw that it was £75. Like, the fuck is that about, right? The game is worth 40 quid on its own. You can buy the figure that comes with it for a tenner on its own already. So you're paying the extra like 20 odd 25 quid for just some downloadable character costumes. Fuck off.
I know. Nope.
Yeah. What is this, Street Fighter?
Yeah, screw 75. Yeah, screw 75 quid. But no, I'm still excited for the game. It's coming out on December 10th, though, at which point we're all going to be hung up on our PS4s. And
I do not care. I'm still going to play it for sure.
I was
super excited for it. And it's written... I mean, I'd imagine it's written by Obsidian, but I know that Matt and Trey have had a massive hand in like developing the world and stuff. So
it does look pretty good. I will say that.
Yeah.
It's very authentic.
But yeah, new season of South Park then. Did you see the new intro? I sent it to you, Gianni, didn't I?
Yeah, I actually just remembered when you were talking about Stick of Truth. I actually haven't been able to watch it just until I'll watch it right after this. But excited.
They've gone for a 3D layout of the town as they get on the bus. It goes around. Have a little look. It's online.
Probably because they're so happy that they finally plotted out the town. Because didn't they do that for the Stick of Truth? I remember seeing in the interviews. They said that like whilst they were making the show, they could always just cut to each other's houses. They didn't know how the town was laid out, and they had to sit down and plot out the town for the game, which is awesome.
That's pretty cool. It's good.
Yeah, new South Park, always a good thing, man. Consistently funny. So
it starts with like a Jehovah's Witness DMV episode about the government this week. Good so Alec Baldwin invents season 17. 17.
Fucking mad.
Incredible.
It is.
Watch out, Simpsons.
Awesome. Yeah. Is there anything else you guys wanted to mention?
I fucking ranted enough. Go on, guys.
No, you've given us some good details, man. Is there anything else you guys wanted to talk about?
No, that was... Oh, Johnny?
Yeah. No, the only thing I was going to say is we haven't really mentioned is the Eurogamer Expo's on at the moment, but there's nothing news coming out, being announced for it. It's all quite standard stuff.
Eurogamer Expo is usually pretty good for more information about things that have already been announced, right? So things that get announced at E3 and stuff like that, you'll get more information at Eurogamer Expo, like maybe more gameplay, like expanded gameplay and stuff. But there's very rarely like big announcements at Eurogamer. That's at least in my experience. That's why
I've got a few friends on Facebook and Twitter that have been there this weekend as well, having a little hands on. And also, didn't you say, Gianni, we've got our friend Scott, and he's been in the same room as the Xbox One now, and he's worried about the size of the TV unit being able to cope with it.
Yes. Well, I think that was more of me who carried that bit on. Anyway, yeah, no, Scott was there. He's actually just given me a program for it, and that's why I've only just remembered. So yeah, we can probably I'll flick through it, pick out if there's anything interesting in there. But yeah, he said that there were some photos taken as well, which we'll throw up on our website and credit them. But yeah, and what I'll do is I'll talk to Scott a bit better, so it's not all patchy information, and we can pad out next week if we need to.
Okay, fantastic, awesome.
But yeah,
cool. Well, I'm going to let you into some behind the scenes stuff here. My laptop is on 7% battery, which is what I'm recording this on. Like a genius, I didn't plug in the charger when I started recording the podcast. So we've probably got 5 minutes before it dies and everything goes to shit, man.
How about you get off your fucking ass and plug it in?
So, is
That's
there
not happening.
you didn't get that bad for nothing.
Is there anything else you guys needed to mention in this last 5 minutes before we kill it?
Nah, that's good. I'm good.
Sweet. I think it went well this week. It made up for last week, which we will never mention again.
Yeah, it's been a good one. I've had fun.
We poked fun at a dead Japanese man last week. What was going on?
No. There's no we in this. I did not. I have not been associated with that. That didn't happen.
Oh my god. All right. Well, if you want to get in contact with us, you can reach us on Twitter at gsc_games. If you want to reach us on Facebook, you can do that too. I guess you just search GSC Games again, right? Or is it under GSC Podcast? I still don't know. I suck at this.
Just search GSC Games. This
Yeah.
is what we say
GSC
every
Games.
week. Just search GSC Games.
GSC Games on Facebook. Talk to Jaime, Johnny. They're always on there. I'm never on there. Twitter's my forte. If you want to get in contact with any of us individually, our Twitter tags will be down in the description below. You can see it probably from where you're looking, unless you've got us in a window, in which case don't worry about that. And thank you for listening to our rambles again for another week.
Thank you.
Wow.
As always, lovely of you guys to join me to talk shit about video games and stuff on a weekly
What would it be
basis.
if you were on your
To
own,
join you or to join our podcast?
Yeah,
'Cause I seem to
nice of you guys to have me on your lovely podcast again, so that I can talk shit about video games for another week.
I'm loving this continuity area. Anyway,
This is your mess.
It's your car crash.
Cool.
It's been a pleasure.
Awesome. Well, I guess we'll see everyone next week. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Yes, bye.